Washington Post reporter that that the guy who did that was Corey Lewandowski, and that was confirmed by a couple of people.
And for listeners who don't know who Corey Lewandowski is,
the campaign manager for Trump.
Okay.
The campaign manager for Trump. And Trump has had no comment. Trump has had no apology. Nothing from Corey Lewandowski. Just radio silence. Complete radio silence.
Oh, boy.
And this is, except there was a Daily Beast piece that came out today. And in the Daily Beast piece, it suggested that I'm sorry, what's going on?
Nothing is going on.
Okay.
No, nothing is going on.
Okay, you're giving me a weird look.
I thought I heard a hum on it.
Okay, sorry, I was confused.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I was bleeding from the ears.
No, you actually are fine.
Okay,
you look great, and Alicia, you look great.
The Daily Beast piece.
Okay, so the Daily Beast piece said in it that what happened is that Lewandowski basically then went to Breitbart, which is her employer, and said, we didn't know that she was a reporter for Breitbart. We just thought she
You mean Fields went to, or Lewandowski?
Lewandowski
Okay.
and his campaign went to Breitbart, apparently, and said, we didn't know that this was a Breitbart reporter. If we'd known that, it would have been totally different.
Well, that's a crazy thing
So
to
it's okay if
It's
okay if it's a New York Times or New York Post reporter? What the heck?
Right. The whole thing is insane, and the fact that there are people who are not condemning Trump.
Yeah.
There are people
Well,
that are not.
it's not Donald Trump being accused of.
I'm sorry. The condemnation that came down on Ted Cruz after he said that after his campaign sent out the email that Ben Carson was leaving the race, the condemnation that came down on Ted Cruz after Rick Tyler retweeted a fake story about Marco Rubio, and Cruz immediately came out and demanded, asked for his resignation.
Right.
The least that Donald Trump can do is fire Corey Lewandowski.
I don't disagree with you that accountability from the candidate is appropriate, but I'm just making the point that Trump in this allegation, this story here, Trump himself, the candidate, is not involved at all in this story, in the confrontation that's reported to have happened.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Trump is not involved, but he's responsible for his campaign. I mean,
certainly.
His campaign is not. I mean, there's a report today that some black protester got sucker punched at a Trump rally. I mean, Trump's been calling for protesters every time he gets up on the podium. When he's been calling for people to be treated with physical violence.
When you have orchestrated a campaign, I'm not saying Donald Trump is ultimate. I'm not calling Donald Trump responsible for an act that somebody else might have.
Birds of a feather.
Well,
this is the issue I had with Chris Christie for a very long time.
That's
Even
right.
before he was elected governor of New Jersey, I knew of people on his staff that I didn't like, and therefore I judged the man himself.
The point is that the accountability is called for. Obviously, accountability is an obligation. I think you're obligated to be accountable for what your campaign designated people do or alleged to might have done. But when you have a campaign that's all about emotion, and Trump, wow, you see some of these rallies, I mean, there's really angry people. And by the way, the Bernie Sanders people, I think there's some anger there too.
Oh, if you hear some of the crowd last night
Yeah.
after Bernie's closing